I'm the Hooded Lid and welcome to my channel. I thought today we would explore the idea of hooded lids. It's something I know a little bit about, but I am still learning. One of the reasons I found YouTube in the first place was because I kind of stopped wearing makeup. And I remember somebody asked me out for something I wanted to wear makeup for. I put on my makeup as I usually did, and it did not look the same. I was stunned. What is going on here? And it didn't take me too long to realize I was going to have to relearn how to apply makeup everywhere on my face, but primarily my eyes. And I would assume that there's probably a lot of women out there like me. You wore makeup all your life and then things change. For me, my favorite foundation, they stopped making it. So then I went from a full face to just kind of blush and a little bit of something on the eyes. And then I just kept on peeling it back and peeling it back. And I thought, I look fine without makeup. We all tell ourselves stories we want to believe. And those are some of the women I would like to reach with this video. There's also women who are in their 20s and they're hooded. It really doesn't matter how old you are when it comes to being hooded. It is ageless. The gift that keeps on giving. But when you think about it, when you do a Google on women you consider to be really beautiful, who are iconically beautiful, a lot of them are hooded. I think we are just kind of conditioned to see all these people doing reviews on palettes and different looks, and they have eyes that are more deep set, that have lids where they can do a very articulated look, and so we feel like, oh, there's something wrong with us. There's not. There's not. But we do like to have some fun. So while I'm waiting for an eternity to receive my goods from Sephora, which are almost going to take a month, I ordered on the 21st and I am getting them on the 15th of May. Yay. So I thought I'd just go in a completely different direction and focus on the eyes. And this is Hooded Eyes 101, a series. Could be a series of 3, who knows? There are many kinds of hooded lids. My lids happen to be more hooded at the end, so it hits my lash line. There is nothing in between here. But there's also people who are hooded in the center, and this is lifted up. So they can do a liner here, but you can't see anything in the center because the center hits their lash line. And then there's monolids, which aren't really hooded. And then there's people who don't have a crease, and there is a fold, but they're really not deeply hooded. They fall under the hooded category though. And all these different shapes, and I'm sure there's many, many more, they all require a different approach. I am going to give you the approach that works for here, but I think some of my ideas will work with all 3. I couldn't figure out how I wanted to break this down because I think the basics would be shade and light and understanding the shape of what's going on. If you ever took an art class, you understand, and you probably had projects where you did pencil drawings, just shade and light, and you're not looking so much at where everything is getting, I don't know, it's hard to explain. But it's a project I remember doing. And shade and light goes both ways, vertically and horizontally, right? So things that protrude have light. Tops of the cheeks, they protrude, there's light. The hood protrudes, there's light. But I've decided I'm going to do that in the next video. This is going to be just basics on how to get out of the house, and then the next video we'll talk about shade and light and actually contouring your eyes, and that will help you figure out where to put your shadow when you become a little more than one and done. One and done is what I want to talk about today. One and done. Let's say that you are just getting back to makeup. You haven't been wearing makeup, and just like me, you put some on and hey, it's not working out so well. You don't remember it looking like this, but you want to do something, you don't know what. Shadows like sticks and creams can be your friend until you build some skills. The colors I suggest are, well, they're not skin tone, but they're neutral. And maybe cool tone, maybe not. depends on you. So here I have a Bobbi Brown crayon in kind of a mauve color. There's reflection in both of these. You don't have to use mattes. You could. I don't happen to have one. Well, I do, but it's very stiff and I didn't bring it down here. Or something like this from Charlotte Tilbury, which is a whipped kind of cream. With both of these, what you need to do is blend your transition area. You can do it with your brush. You can do it with a finger. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to move up a little bit and pull you in. I'm going to pick this up with a brush. This is a 217. You could absolutely do this with your fingers, but I tend to fat finger. So the brush is going to do it for me. And I have some concealer. Oh, by the way, I did my microneedling the night before last, so if my skin's looking a little rough, that's why. And I'm just feeling where my socket is. On this eye, it's a little more difficult because I have a fat pad right here and it's hard to feel the socket. And I'm not bringing down because that hood goes down already. So really, it's a bit of a semicircle right here. Wipe this off so there's no more product on it. And now I want to get rid of that hard line. Same brush. You can do little strokes, but you do want to do it pretty quickly before it sets. Alright, one and done. This hood looks to be receding just a little bit more than this one, and I feel like I've got a little focus around the eyes. I brought some attention to them, which is something I want to do. Is it perfectly shaped? No, because see, this moves down. So it looks like I'm still pulling everything down. You can go in with a Q-tip and see. In my case, that could just be my skin color because I'm a little darker right there and it's not shadow. You can also go in with the concealer brush and relax your eyes and see, just look in the mirror and see where is that pulling you down. Looking in a mirror further away and just kind of hit that area. I have not put concealer on it, so it's whatever concealer is left. And this is the area I would like to get a little bit light. This is the darkness in my own skin, so I'm not going to be able to accomplish too much, but that helped a little bit. So that's one and done with a cream. You can also do one and done with powders. As with creams, you want a color that's kind of neutral. This is not the time to do purples. It's not the time, you know what I mean? Purples, no. Mauves, yes. Yellows, no. Mustards, maybe. Depends on your skin tone. Fuchsias, no. Pinks, maybe. For me, I feel very comfortable doing a one and done with a pink. This is my Safari palette. And I could do that easily. It would get the job done. I could maybe do that if I mixed it with something lighter. But I'm going to do this. Alright, now with the mustardy color. Again, light, start lightly, and I'm just feeling the orbital bone. And don't bring too far down if you are hooded like I am. And trace it out initially, and then you can go in with a little more confidence. So when my eyes are open, you can see just a little bit of the color, and that's what you want to do because that's what's helping to recede the hood and give a slight illusion that you actually have, what's that called again? A crease. And this doesn't need as much blending, but if you're one of the women out there who finds that the skin on your hood is actually the lightest skin on your face, and I have seen that many times, especially women who are more fair skinned, like Irish, there seems to be something about the under eyes, instead of having darkness, they are more light than the rest of your skin, and the same with your hoods. Then you might go in with a color like this one, just to chill that area out. I don't have that problem, so I'm not going to. Okay, so for me, this is one and done on both eyes. This is a cream, this is a powder. It gives me a little bit of depth. It makes the eyes look a little bit longer, and it's enough just for basics, just to take the edge off of the hoodedness. Now, let's talk about two and done. Two and done, I don't feel like you can really accomplish with these. So we're going to do the 2-in-1 with powder. And I'm going to take this brown tone. This is the lightest brown in here, but it's still too dark. So easy, you guys. Just dip in and then dip in something lighter. Just takes the edge off. Check it on my hand. If it's okay, same formula. Dust off and go in. And now I'm going to deepen up a little bit. Start with a very light hand, and again, just following the eyeball. And then blend. And start, it's okay to start sheer and build. It's another problem altogether if you have something that won't build, but these are Denonas. They build very nicely, and I'm using a really light hand. And now I'm going to pull up a little bit. So my hood is falling down here. I'm going to try to not pull out any more than here. And look for markers on your face. Think of your face as a map. Like, consider, where's the arch of your brow in relationship to your eye? Where's your cornea? Where's the highest point? Where does this end? Just look at road maps, like when you're driving around and, you know, your friend gives you directions, and it's not turn on Cordoba Street, but it's like turn where the Jack in the Box is. Your face, same kind of thing. Where are the markers? Know your face well, but in a different manner, like a different language. Because it's not about judgment of what your face is, it's about what relates to what and where. And notice, I do want to see this when the eye is open, because that is how we receive the hood. And if you feel you need to go into the mustard again, you can do that. But for me, I think this is very nicely blown out. A blowout doesn't have to mean a big, fat, smoky eye. This is working out well. There's a pretty fade to it, and it helps to pull out the eye without pulling it down. Another way you could look at it is, and everybody's face is different, right? Hold at the nose, hold at the edge, and you don't want your shadow to go any further than that. I think Elf used to make tapes, so you could tape along your eye before you put on your eyeshadow, and then there are people who actually use tape. First you tape it onto your hand a couple of times to take off the stickiness so it doesn't pull so much on your face. And those are things you could do too, but you really do have to be careful that you're getting the tape equal on each side, otherwise you can look a little crazy pants. And this is learning without a railing, and I think that's not a bad thing. So we've done one and done, this is two and done, and then we could do three and done. Three and done will take another color, a darker color, or a lighter color. For me, a darker color is very difficult because the hood's at the end. I feel that if I line with a darker color on top, it can make my eyes look a lot smaller. You could also try underneath, but if you have darkness or puffiness underneath, that can make your eyes smaller too. You could do just a haze of color, so instead of doing that dark brown, you could do this. But I'm not sure I would really accomplish anything as far as what my eyes look like. That would be more like showing off the colors of your palette. Like if you have a pretty pink or a pretty blue, but you don't want to put it up here, you could put it down here, but that doesn't necessarily enhance your eyes. Then for lightness, you could put lightness in here, but I don't really see an advantage to that. I'm fighting with the birds. They're truly having a conversation out there. Oh, how was your day, birdie? Oh, I'm getting the silent treatment. No silent treatment. I'm going to go with a small brush and I guess this color. And you know what? No, there's too much pink in that. I'm going to go in with this color. I just don't see the advantage of putting light necessarily on this. I think all you need is mascara and a little bit of liner and you're good. But I'll just show you. And of course, there's, you know, personal aesthetic. What you personally like, what you need for your shape, what's going on with your eyes. If your eyes are close set, you might want to go in with something light. I'm just going to do some tight lining. For me, this isn't appropriate for everybody, but for me, I find as I'm getting older, the tight line, the skin shows. When I was a kid, I had a double layer of lashes. And the reason I know that is my mom, for a present, gave me an appointment with a professional makeup artist. And we were not wealthy. She was a working mother, raising 2 kids. But she got this for me because I was into makeup and she was not. My mom put on makeup, but you could not tell. And she only put foundation where she felt she needed it. She put on a whisper of blush and a whisper of lipstick. I have all these travel size or tester sizes of mascaras and I want to finish them up. This is from Jane Iredale. I do like this brush. Love me a full brush. Now I happen to like clean underneath. I think it's really brightening and eye-opening for my eye shape and for my bagginess and darkness underneath. But if you want something that shapes your eyes and you don't want to do a liner, either a hard liner or a shadow, a good way to do that is to go in with mascara. I don't have a lot going on here, but I really just want it around the roots. I'm not making them look longer. I'm just giving them a little bit of definition. And you can see it's so subtle from this side to this side. But subtle is what we're looking for, especially when you're first starting out or relearning. And there you go, you guys. It's 1 and done, 2 and done, 3 and done. Very, very simple. You don't need a lot of tools. You don't need a lot of makeup. You just need to figure out what colors you want to go into. And in my next video, I'm going to talk about colors a little bit more, but for now, let me just swatch the other 2 colors I used. This is the color I used, the Charlotte Tilbury, and on this side, these are the colors I used. You want to go with more neutral colors. It's not a time for brights. Depends on the color of your eyes, what you want to bring out, but you're definitely working with neutrals at this stage. So that's video number 1. And video number 2, did I just say video? Video number 2 will be coming up soon, and we're really going to dig in deep. And I really want to be helpful for how to manage hooded lids. Thank you for spending some time with me. I hope this was helpful to you, and I hope you come back again. If you have something in particular that you would like me to address in my next videos on hooded lids, let me know down below. If I can, I will address it and offer some suggestions. If it's something I have absolutely no experience with, I'll say so in the comments. And yeah, until we meet again, stay safe and smart. I'm wishing you good health.